Lord, have mercy on us.
Christ, have mercy on us.
Lord, have mercy on us. Christ, hear us.
Christ, graciously hear us.
God, the Father of heaven,
have mercy on us.
God, the Son, Redeemer of the world,
have mercy on us.
God, the Holy Ghost,
have mercy on us.
Holy Trinity, one God,
have mercy on us.
Holy Mary,
pray for us.
Holy Mother of God,
pray for us.
Holy Virgin of
pray for us.
Mother of Christ,
pray for us.
Mother of divine grace,
pray for us.
Halt! Halt! I'll tell you, halt! The left is mine! The left is mine!
Ark of the Covenant,
Pray for us.
Gate of Heaven,
Pray for us.
Morning Star, let us pray. Grant, we beseech thee, O Lord God, that we, thy servants, may be blessed with continual health of soul and body, and that by the glorious intercession of the Blessed Mary, ever Virgin, we may both be delivered from present sorrows and be brought to eternal joys. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Sister Clothilde, what happened outside?
I don't know. I don't want to know. Get in line with the others, Elise. All finished?
Mm-hmm.
Shall I show you what I used to do when I was a little girl?
Yes, sister.
I used to take my empty eggshell, turn it upside down, and put it back like this. And I'd say, "Look, sister, I didn't eat my egg." And the sister would say, "Gracious, then I think I'll eat it myself." And she'd hit it with her spoon like this. Good morning, Mother.
Good morning. Well. When did these little mice creep in?
Under the door when I wasn't looking. And look, they've nibbled through 2 whole eggs, shell and all.
That makes 16 in your dormitory, Sister Clothilde. You'll be crowded.
I don't mind. I like getting these little ones. They haven't been hurt. At least if they have, they're young enough to forget.
You weren't much older than this one here when you came.
Oh, but I was. I was 8. I remember my first day here. I never wanted to leave. Perhaps these 2 will...
Now, they can't all be nuns. In the meantime, you might wipe off their chins. And what are you cooking today, Sister Serafina? Rabbit. Again? At this rate, we'll all end by hopping into heaven.
My nose twitches every time I see a carrot.
Mine, too.
Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, Reverend Mother.
I don't know which one of us spend more time on our knees, Pierre, you or I.
Or which one of us has the most to show for it.
Well, my results wouldn't fill a wheelbarrow, not these days. British?
No, American. Liberators.
2 new ones this morning. The children of Jacques Maret. Was he one of those who escaped?
Yes.
Who were the others?
Jean Cartier and Émile Fournier.
Only 3.
It's the best we could do.
They'll need food for how many days?
2 at least. It'll take them that long to get through to the coast, even if they leave tonight.
The sooner the better. My conscience is never quite at ease while we're hiding them in that old chapel.
It's outside the convent walls.
Actually, yes, but evasions make me uncomfortable. But that is a small price to pay for men's lives. Ah, that will be Major Krupp coming to pay me a little call.
You're going to receive him?
I always receive him, and we always play our little comedy. He regrets that he must question me as a mere matter of form, and I regret that he must waste his time. And then he regrets that he cannot search the convent as a mere matter of form, and I regret that the cloister is forbidden to men. And our poor mayor will stand twisting his hat and his conscience.
I regret, madame, that I cannot search the convent, as a mere matter of form, of course.
And I regret, monsieur, that our cloister is forbidden to male visitors.
Very well, madame. Now that we have observed our little formalities, it is time for us to stop pretending.
Pretending? It is true, I have never asked to see your credentials, but I have never doubted that you are a German officer.
I assure you, Major Krupp's credentials are above question.
Germans don't have to be vouched for by Frenchmen.
Then surely, monsieur, you're not implying that I am masquerading. I have worn the habit of this religious order for nearly 60 years.
57 to be exact. And according to our dossier and you entered the convent when you were 15.
I was born in 1871. Does that date signify nothing else to you, Major Krupp? Yes, it was the year of the Franco-Prussian War. I was born to the sound of German boots tramping over France. I lived to see them tramping again in 1914. And now, well, perhaps I lived too long. After the last war, I thought I was through with the Germans.
One is never through with the Germans.
That is what our gardener says about the blight that attacks our roses, but we must struggle against it just the same.
That brings me to the purpose of my visit. This morning, of the 20 men we rounded up to be sent to Germany, 3 escaped. There is some element in this village which we cannot control. It is a ridiculous little village. A handful of houses, a village square the size of a potato pancake, a couple of farms and a convent. Yet I have more trouble with it than any other place in my district.
The size of the flea has no relation to its bite. All the same, it must be very distressing for you.
As mayor of the village, it is also very distressing for me.
No, Vitrey, for you as mayor, it is unhealthy. Look here. I personally have no quarrel with your religious institutions and intend to respect them as long as you restrict yourself to the practice of religion.
People can be as French as they like, but in the convent or out of it, they must be law-abiding citizens. I'm working in perfect harmony with Major Krupp.
So I hear from the village.
Oh, they talk about me in the village? What do they say?
I never listen to slander.
You are a fool, Vitrey, to try and match wits with the Reverend Mother. I only succeed in it, if I do succeed, because I have authority to back me up. You understand? Frankly, I am warning you. We are not always so considerate. I suppose you'll give me your word, as usual, that you are hiding no one in your convent?
No one.
I suppose it will have to do, for the present. Good day, madame.
Good day. May he be over thee, that he may bless thee. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, that shoulder, Jacques. Do you think you can get through with the others?
Oh, I'll be all right, Reverend Mother. But those bloodstains.
Oh, I'll see that they're cleaned up.
It's time to start. Goodbye, Reverend Mother. We can't repay you, but we'll remember you in our prayers. Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry. I was told I'd find a man here. A man named Cabeau. Do you know where I can find him?
He isn't here.
This must be the right place. An old chapel, the steps leading down here. Everything checks. Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going? I may have been followed here. If you were seen coming out of this place?
I wouldn't be seen. That door leads to a passageway back to the convent.
Oh. I'm sorry if I seem a bit jumpy, but my plane was shot down and I bailed out near an old windmill. They sent me along here to find this man Cabeau. There is a man named Cabeau, isn't there?
Yes,
Well, who is he?
the gardener.
Oh, fine. And you can take a message to him for me.
It's not my place to carry messages unless the Mother Superior sends me.
Look. I'm trying to be polite. I've never been around a convent before, and perhaps I'm being rude. Just how does one speak to a nun?
As little as possible.
Thanks, I'll remember that. But right now I've got something much more important to think about. If you can't realize that, maybe the Mother Superior can. Will you tell her that I'm here, that I want to get in touch with this man Cabeau? Is doing even that much against your regulations?
I'll give your message to the Mother Superior.
Is everything ready?
Everything. It's all in here. Marriage license, passport, travel permits, even the medical certificate. It's beautiful work, too. You'd never know there were forgeries.
Good.
My uncle and the others worked all night. They didn't know you'd need them so soon.
I had to change my plans. The Germans are sure the American is still around here. They're doubling their patrols. We have to get him away tonight. You've had your instructions.
He Jean D'Aubrain and his wife. He was shell-shocked in the war and lost his voice. He's just been released from hospital in my care, and I have permission to take him to our home near the coast.
Right.
I've gone over it till I'm letter perfect.
You must be letter perfect. This aviator is taking to England important information collected by our underground.
What time shall I be at the bridge?
I'll get him away by 9. Allow half an hour for him to reach there.
I'll be waiting for him.
I suppose you realize that you're risking your life. Good afternoon, Major Krupp, and our good mayor, Monsieur Vitrey.
Good afternoon.
This is Madame...
Madame Bouchard.
Her uncle has those greenhouses on the edge of the village.
Bouchard. The name is familiar. I've met you before?
No.
Your husband, then?
My son. You shot him.
That basket. What are you carrying?
Seeds.
Seeds, eh? Seeds.
You're going in?
This is a very fine wool for wartime. Where did you get it?
It's old, Jan. We steam it out and use it again.
If you'll permit me, Major Krupp, these young sisters are not accustomed to contact with the world, especially with men. It's against the rules.
We Germans make our own rules.
Elise!
Aren't you rather a big girl to be playing games like this? How old are you?
15.
15. A lovely age. Du bist wie eine Blume, so schön, so rein und hold. But you don't speak German here yet, do you? You are like a flower. So pretty, so fresh, so charming. I thought the Mother Superior told me you only kept the orphans here until they were 14.
We've kept a few this year, like Elise. She has no place to go.
There's always room in the Reich for healthy young girls.
But Major Krupp...
Even the 14-year-olds could be useful, both now and later.
14 is a child.
Not in Germany. Monsieur Vitrey, I think I see a solution to our problem. If this American is not found by tomorrow, we'll take 3 of these older girls. It's really a splendid idea. The colonel will be delighted. Good day, sister. And thank you for your information. Come on, Vitrey.
Major Krupp.
Yes?
This American, if someone knew where he was...
Sister Clothilde, what are you saying?
She's not saying it to you. Go on.
I only meant if he should give himself up, The girls, you wouldn't take them?
Then you think someone does know. You, for instance. You haven't seen the American? You don't know where he is? Why don't you answer? It's because you are afraid of telling a lie?
Major Krupp, one doesn't even suggest that a nun would lie.
I do. She may be a nun. She's also French. I hope the American is found by tomorrow. If not, well, it is a pity. But sometimes the innocent must suffer for the guilty.
And I couldn't answer him. I had to keep silent or lie, and I've never lied in my life.
Who began this business of questions and answers, you or Major Krupp?
It was horrible the way he looked at her when she touched him. That child.
This is my third war. Everything changes but the Germans.
But he said he'd take them. He said it to the mayor.
To the mayor, yes, but he hasn't said it to me. He cannot take those girls. They are wards of the church and the state. He only said it to frighten you, to make you do just what you did, to tell him...
I didn't tell him anything. I only said if anyone knew.
If anyone knew. And if someone told the American. And if he gave himself up. That if was all he needed.
I was only trying to protect all of us.
And that was my responsibility, Sister Clothilde, not yours. My child, of what are you afraid? You know so little of that world outside, and yet you find it so terrifying. Perhaps before I accepted you as a novice, I should have made you go back into it for a while.
Oh, no, don't make me go away. This is the only world I ever want to know. And I've never felt that I was only a novice. I made my vows to myself many years ago. And I've always tried to be what you wish me to be, haven't I?
Sister Clothilde, I've known you since you were a tiny little girl. You were a very good child. You were a most devout novice. But you have the inclination to pride. You're proud that you're safe. Proud that life can never touch you.
But why should it?
This is our symbol, Sister Clothilde. Why should we be free of suffering? Fortunately, the American himself is already on his way to safety. And now I can tell you he's not an ordinary aviator. He has in his possession information of the greatest importance. Who is it?
It's Cabeau. Someone let me in. They've arrested Madame Bouchard on her way to meet the American.
Did she talk?
No.
Good. Then you must get to the American, tell him what's happened, and make a new plan.
I can't. They followed me here. I can't even send a message to him. Someone must have talked.
I did.
They've come to search the convent.
They shall not set foot inside the door.
Open this door.
What do you want?
We're going to search every building in the village.
Not this one.
We have orders.
From whom?
From the major.
Major Krupp knows that I can admit no one without a written order from the bishop. When I receive that order, I will open the door, and not before.
If you don't open the door, I'll shoot it open.
Barbarians!
Shoot out the lock. It was her own fault. She should have opened the door.
What is this?
She should have opened the door.
Get your men out.
I was only obeying orders.
Orders? I said nothing about the convent. Withdraw your men and report yourself under arrest. Madame, I regret.
As a mere matter of form,
See that no one here is disturbed. No more damage is done. You're late. Something's up. A lot of cars have been going by. I thought they'd see me any minute. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't bother about me. Go on, I'll manage to keep up.
Look, there's the B sign they told us to look for. Let's go.
Come in, quickly. Watch that broken step. I thought they'd got you.
Madame Bouchard was late.
But this is not Madame Bouchard.
It's all right. Monsieur Cabeau told me to give you this. I have taken Madame Bouchard's place.
Where is she?
Under arrest.
What happened?
Someone talked.
What is your name?
Louise. Louise Dupree.
You come from the village?
I come from farther north, but I've been living in the village recently.
If they've been making arrests, we'll have to get you out of here. Let me see your passports. This passport photograph won't do. Louise? Louise!
Yes?
Sit down here.
All right to smoke?
Yes, sir. If you'd like a drink of cider, it's in the cake. You better tidy up a little before I take the picture. Haven't you a mirror or a comb? Here, you can use this. Take off your coat and shawl. Hurry, please. That's much better. Now hold it very still. There, Louise. You are now Madame Jean Dupree. Now for the wedding ring. You like an iron cross or a DSO or Croix de Guerre? Souvenirs of our friends who come and go. Here, Louise, let me see if this fits. No, the other hand. That's too big. That's fine.
I think I've got this thing memorized now.
An American wristwatch won't do. Now remember, your travel permits are only good when you get to the railroad. Then you can move about quite openly. In the meanwhile, keep off the main roads as much as you can. There he is. Come on now. have not worked for us before.
No,
Then why did Cabeau send you?
there was no one else. It was an emergency.
You are sure you can carry it off?
I must.
So much depends on it. Remember, you're a soldier now. Must obey orders. One thing more. I know this man is a stranger, but whenever you're in public, he's not a stranger. He's your husband.
Why don't you lean back?
Thank you.
All right, Pierre.
Who are you? And where are you going?
I'm taking some flour to your barracks in the next town.
Those two in back. Who are they?
I don't know. I just gave him a lift.
Where are you going? Didn't you hear me? Who are you and where are you going?
He can't answer. I'll speak for him.
You'll speak when you're spoken to. Are you going to tell me who you are, or do you want me to loosen your mouth for you?
Please don't do that. He isn't able to talk. He's been sick.
Well, why didn't you say so? What's wrong with him?
It was shell shock. And he can't speak. He's just out of the hospital. I have a certificate.
Who is he? Your brother?
No, it said on the paper, my husband.
So you are his wife. And he's in your care.
Yes, he's in my care.
Do you expect me to believe that?
I showed you the medical certificate.
What are you doing wandering about the country in this cart?
It's a long way to the railroad. He offered us a ride. Is it forbidden for us to ride?
No. Stay where you are. Forwards. Weiter, Gustav.
That was a close one. You did pretty well.
Here's where you get off. Now that's the way you go. Northeast for 11 miles until you reach the grain fields. Then you swing directly north until you can see that flak tower at the airfield. Don't try to pass it till after dark. There's a highway to cross, and they patrol it day and night.
Well, thanks, and good luck.
Good luck to you. You'll need it.
Well, here we go. Look.
Oh, the poor little thing. Is it hurt?
Hurt my foot. He's trying to dig a hole in my finger.
That's because he's frightened.
Yeah, hold him while I look for the nest.
There, don't be frightened. No one's going to hurt you.
There it is. There's another one here. Let me have Elma.
Who?
Never mind. Give it to me. Yep. There you are. Nice and safe. Uh-oh, here comes Mama.
How did you know that little bird was there?
Oh, I'm an old hand at this bird business. My little boy and I, we often...
You have a little boy?
Now, don't get me started on that.
Your own little boy?
Why, sure. I guess I'm not like most fathers. I carry pictures. Oh, I forgot. Cabeau made me leave him behind. My wife's, too. As soon as it's dark, we'll skirt around the aerodrome and cross the main road. There's the flak tower at the end of the field there. Across the highway is that old farm where they said we could stop the night. You know, you got sunburned today.
I'm not used to the sun on my face.
Should have brought a hat.
It wasn't time to get one. Your little boy, does he sunburn in the summer?
Uh-huh. Freckles. But you ought to see Peggy. That's my wife. In the summer, she gets just like an Indian. We used to come out to places like this summer evenings. Bring picnic suppers. Go swimming.
At night?
Sure, in the moonlight. She swims like a fish. I taught her when she wasn't much bigger than Johnny is now.
You've known her so long?
All my life. She was the girl next door back in my hometown. I used to carry her books to school. Buy her ice cream at the corner drugstore. She said she had her eye on me when I was only 8. Never gave me a chance to look at anybody else. Not that I wanted to. Then we went through high school together. State college.
And then your parents, they arranged the marriage?
No, they weren't even enthusiastic about it. Said we were too young. But that's the way to start out. Grow up together. Well, look at Peggy now. When I joined up, did she sit at home feeling sorry for herself? No. She went out and got herself a job in an aircraft factory. I can just see her now, running around in those rompers. With a big monkey wrench in one pocket and a lipstick in the other. Not even the war could separate Peggy from her lipstick. I'll never forget the night Johnny was born. He started for the hospital about, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went down and got out the car and sat there honking the horn, but no Peggy. So finally she called out from the window, "I can't find it." "Can't find what?" I said. "My lipstick." I said, "You're not going to hold up this trip while you hunt for a lipstick, are you?" She said, "I most certainly am. I won't leave without it. I want to look my best the first time he sees me." Oh, she's a wonderful gal. You don't mind me talking about my wife, do you?
No.
It makes me feel a little less lonely. I miss her. I miss waking up beside her, all curled up like a kitten, sleepy and warm. I miss her head on my shoulder, the scent of her hair. I'm sorry, but it's been so long. Someday you'll have a real one of those and you'll know just what I'm talking about.
I don't want to know. I'm sorry, but all this talk about marriage and your wife, it's something that doesn't interest me.
I see. Well, it's nearly dark. We'd better get started.
What are they doing?
Moving men and equipment toward the coast. Can't do it by day. Our planes would spot them. Listen. We better get out of here now. In a couple of minutes, this place won't be safe for anyone. Come on. Stick close to me. If they start dropping flares, throw yourself on the ground. that farmhouse. Can you do it?
Yes, I think so.
Come on. Sorry I have to lean on you. It's got to be there. You said there'd be both food and medicine.
This must be it.
That's a hand grenade. I'll keep it on. These papers, too.
Is it safe?
So long as the pin isn't pulled. But if anyone should pick me up and you see me reach for this, get away, because there'll be nothing left of me or the papers. Better get me some water. I'll take a couple of those tablets now. Wind my watch. I have to take a couple of those every 4 hours. You may have some trouble waking me. These sulfur drugs hit pretty hard.
What do I do with the powder?
Just sprinkle it on wherever the skin is broken.
For your medicine. John. It's time for your medicine.
I'm not flying tonight. Let me sleep.
It's your medicine. You must take it.
Let me sleep. Sister.
Yes?
So that's who you are. Why didn't you tell me? Please don't. Look here, I don't like to remind you just now, but you do have an invalid on your hands. I'd feel better for a little breakfast.
I'm sorry.
Quite right, I shouldn't be neglected. I'm sure there's some emergency rations tucked away in there. With this arm, I can't do much about it.
Oh, you're dressing, it needs changing.
No. I can't let you do that. Not now.
But of course you can. Even if I were back in the convent, I'd do it. It'd be my duty.
Could I have some breakfast first? I'm a little shaky from those sulfur tablets. By the way, I did take them.
I woke you.
Funny, I don't remember a thing. I hope I was polite to you.
You didn't know who I was.
No. Should be coffee, sugar, biscuits, and cigarettes in there.
There's something I must tell you.
You don't have to tell me anything.
But I do.
Why?
Because you've been so kind. You haven't asked me any questions.
I've no right to question you.
But you've put your life in my hands. This journey I'm making with you, you have a right to know if I can be trusted. I must tell you, once I broke a trust.
Look, could we have some coffee first? We both feel a lot better.
Of course, I'm sorry.
You mustn't keep on reproaching yourself.
I killed her. Just as much as if I'd fired those shots myself.
No. Anyone in your position would have done the same.
I was weak. I was thinking only of myself. My own comfort.
She'd say it was weak to look back. The Mother Superior, I mean. I only met her once, but she wasn't the kind to waste time on useless regrets.
How strange that you're so wise. Knowing nothing of our life, and yet you do know. I didn't know a man could be so kind.
Why do you feel the way you do about men? It isn't just because you were a nun, is it?
No.
Then why? What happened to you? Something did happen?
Yes.
Well, look, why don't you tell me? It might help to talk about it, take it out of hiding.
It was my father. My mother. She died when I was 8, but she was sick for a long time before. We had a woman who kept house for us. My father.
Yes?
When my mother died and I was sent to the convent, it was like heaven. I never wanted to leave. I wanted to shut out everything I'd ever known before.
But you have left.
It was the only way I knew to make up for what I'd done. To leave the thing I loved most. It was like tearing my life out by the roots. But I didn't want any of the others to suffer. Any of the sisters.
Will they take you back?
I don't know. I feel lost.
Well, you shouldn't. God is everywhere. And everything outside the convent isn't ugly and frightening and sinful. And marriage must be right. It wouldn't be a sacrament of the church. I took vows too, you know, and kept them. Marriage can be the most beautiful thing in the world. It's like finding your other self. And once you've found her, you're only half a person without her. I remember once when I'd been married about 3 months, Peggy went away. And I wandered about that house like a lost soul. I even opened the closet door and stood there looking at her clothes. It was as if she were dead. And then someone came in and I had to pretend I was catching moths or something. I felt very silly. Then when he was born, I told you about that. I learned how to change him, to give him his bottle, make him bubble. And then we lost a baby, a little girl. I had a crash and the baby came ahead of time. Pretty as a picture, too. And for months afterwards, Peggy used to wake up in the night and cry. And I'd have to hold her in my arms until she fell asleep again. And as for the emotional side, Well, when you're happily married, you don't think much about it. It's like good health. It's just there, like the air you breathe. And there are lots of other little things about marriage, too. Little things that you remember, things that make you want to laugh or cry. Like Peggy trying to look dignified with cold cream on her nose. My morning newspaper with jam on it. Her slippers, always in the wrong place beside the bed for me to trip over. Someone to laugh at one moment and run to for comfort the next. To make you feel masculine and superior and protecting. Although you know all the time that without her, you're not so much. Someone to believe in you, even when you cease to believe in yourself. Someone to bring your achievements and failures back to. Someone who makes an empty house a home, and a home a haven.
You say it like a litany.
What's that?
A kind of prayer.
Oh? Wait a moment, I'll help you finish up.
Oh, no, you mustn't move that arm any more than you have to.
With that extra bandage, it'll be perfectly all right.
There isn't much more to do anyway. Is that your last cigarette?
Uh-huh.
There's this one box left.
Well, you better leave it for the next fellow.
I'll give you 2 of them. John, just after I've swept. It's a nice little house. I never realized before how cozy a little house could be. After the convent, where the rooms are so large and open. It's different. I'll always remember it. Looks empty already.
I'm afraid it's time to go.
You're very tired. We're going to stop that bus.
We can't.
Certainly we can.
It's too risky.
We have papers.
But they're for the railroad.
We're near enough to use them now. Besides, they won't ask us for papers on the bus. Don't forget you can't talk.
Ja, die zit dan waarschijnlijk niet. Want dit was dan heel groot. De waard. Denk ja. Ehrlich machen! Alles aussteigen!
Soldiers. You were frightened, too.
Did I look frightened?
No, but your heart, it pounded so. That's how I knew you were frightened.
There's no use standing in line. There's been no train for 2 days.
No train? Surely you're joking.
The American bombers who came over weren't joking. They didn't leave much track for the train to run on.
How long before it is repaired?
Who knows? Maybe 1 hour, maybe 10.
Perhaps you could tell us if there's a restaurant we haven't eaten.
Yes. Over there across the street.
Sådana spelet kärleken får en trevlig och makrigen. Ber ordering ballon. Ber ordering ballon.
Hey, you. Where's that girl for me?
She will be here any moment. She was delayed. If you only will be patient.
Be patient? You are giving orders to me?
Oh, no, of course not. I only...
You only take orders.
Yes, sir.
And perhaps you have forgotten what those orders are. That you are to provide girls for all of us. All of us, you understand? And get a lively one this time. One who'll talk. I'm sick of these girls who sit with you, drink with you, dance with you, but won't talk with you.
Yes, sir.
And you, old man.
Yes, sir.
Bring me some more beer and be quick about it.
I'm sorry it was so long. You heard?
Yes.
They're all the same, those Nazis. They try to act like conquerors, but they know they have conquered nothing. They are lonely, homesick, and hated.
John, I think I'll go across now and buy our tickets.
That's a good idea, madame. There is sometimes a crowd.
If we have our tickets, we can go onto the train just before it leaves. You'll be all right while I'm gone?
They're not here. You should have kept them in sight and sent someone else to find me.
But I watched them cross the street and... Wait. The woman is not here. But I'm sure that is the man.
We'll soon find out. Good evening. I hope you will excuse this intrusion, but we have a message of importance for an aviator who is expected to pass through the town, and you seem to answer the description given to us.
He cannot speak. He is dumb from shell shock. It's useless to ask questions.
You attend to your own business. We know he cannot speak, but he can hear, can't he?
Oh, yes, of course.
Well then, he can nod or shake his head.
You and your wife arrived by the bus, did you not? And you intend to take the first train to the coast? You and your wife intend to travel into a restricted zone. Do you understand that you cannot do that without special permission?
Why is it in German only? The ones we issue are in both French and German, signed by the chief inspector.
And not worth the paper they're written on. This is on headquarters stationery, Colonel von Stamm's signature, his own office seal. It is quite evident that you are not the man we're looking for. You must understand, finding those people is a very serious business for me. It's not only my job that's at stake, but my neck.
But that is not possible. Major Krupp brought you in his car, told us to give you every assistance.
And made sure I'm under surveillance every minute.
Well, I'll go back to the station and have another look around. The ticket office is open now. They may show up.
Some cognac.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you. There's that girl. I'm not going to sit in there chewing my nails watching the others having a good time. What do you think I am?
I know what you are, sir. You are a German soldier, and you want someone to talk to.
I want a girl, and I'm going to have one. If you know what's good for you, get one. You hear? Get one.
If you only wait a little longer, sir.
I've waited long enough.
I'll see what I can do.
So you got here at last.
Please, my husband is waiting.
What the hell does that mean?
John! John!
sorry to interfere.
Get out of my way.
But these people are friends of Major Krupp.
Major Krupp?
Yes. Better go back quietly and join the others.
Vitrey.
Yes, Sister Clothilde. Don't try to reach for your gun. Mine would be quicker. You will now precede me into that room. Both of you.
Major Krupp's office. Major Krupp is very busy. Lieutenant Miller talking.
My business is too important to tell to any lieutenant. Just inform Major Krupp that Marcel Vitrey is talking, who has good news for him. He'll come to the phone, all right. We have not met personally, monsieur. So let me introduce myself. I'm mayor of the village from which you've escaped, and to which you're about to be returned. You and your companion.
You're going to arrest her, too?
I would rather let you go than her. You're a soldier. What you're doing is your duty, nothing dishonorable. But she who has broken every...
Whatever Sister Clothilde did, she did because she was ordered.
Ordered by whom? The Mother Superior was dead before she left. You're wasting your words, Captain. You're trying to shield her from the consequences of her act, but no one will believe you. Neither myself, nor Major Krupp, nor the German military tribunal.
But the military couldn't try her. She's a nun.
In those clothes, in this place...
Please, monsieur, believe me before God. I have done nothing but that which I believed was my duty. I have risked everything I've loved most. And now when we're so near the end, to have you betray us...
Hello? Vitrey?
Hello? Major Krupp? This is Vitrey. I told you what would happen if you just gave me a chance.
Put that telephone down. You know what this is? If I pull this pin...
You wouldn't.
If you move, go out through the back door, run to the station, the train is in.
No, no.
Go on, hurry.
I won't, I can't.
Ah, that's how it is. You can't kill me without killing her, and you won't do that.
Please, monsieur.
Hello. Vitrey. Check that number.
So you are carpenters, eh? Wait over there.
Want to buy a postcard? Here they are.
Your papers.
We can't move a step without those.
Or with them. The Gestapo will be looking for a couple, an aviator and his wife. So you are no longer a couple. You, Capitaine, will be François Maret, a worker on the fortification. And you, mademoiselle. Have you ever worked in a kitchen or helped wait on table?
Oh, yes, I used to help the sisters.
Good. There's a large boarding house down at the harbor for the workers on the fortifications. For tonight you'll go there and be Machiavellian, a waitress. Jeannette, take her upstairs and get her the proper clothes.
Oui, madame.
And you, Captain, get into these. You'll find a room there to change in. Gabrielle, go and fetch Cabeau.
Cabeau?
Yes, he's here. He's already made a plan to get you back to England. No, not that way. Over the roofs. And see that Cabeau comes back the same way. We cannot take any chances.
Good evening, Major. You made a fast trip?
Yes. This is the mayor, Vitrey. Well done to train?
Oh, yes. Monsieur Vitrey was right about that. As soon as you telephoned, we followed your suggestion. We let them leave the station without knowing they were under observation. They were met by a postcard vendor who took them over to a laundry not far from here. It's owned by a woman named Saru, who always seemed to be a good collaborationist. My men are watching the place. No one has left.
Good. Get your men together and we'll pick them up.
I understand your impatience, Major Krupp. But to us, the Gestapo, the information this man possesses is much more important than the man himself.
Well, I realize that this is your department, but what do you mean to do?
Well, they will either come out soon or spend the night. If they come out, they can't escape. If they stay in, we'll close in on them. And tear gas, plenty of it. He will be helpless. Won't have a chance to use his hand grenade.
Tear gas? Won't that give him time to destroy the documents?
Perhaps you have a better idea.
Well, suppose you just let me talk to him. If I can convince the American that his situation is hopeless...
He still wants to get a credit, a chance to redeem his bungling. We'll handle this ourselves. If we need your help, we'll ask for it. Incidentally, if we don't find this man, I don't need to tell you what will happen to you.
Sister Clothilde, this is how you looked the first time I saw you. Only a few days, only a few miles, but it's been a long journey. It's taken us a great distance from that first morning when you looked at me with such dislike.
You'll never forget that, will you?
I'll never forget anything about you. It's good to see you.
Monsieur Cabeau!
I forgot to tell you he was here.
You've done a good job, you two. If the Mother Superior were alive, she would be very proud of you.
What has happened back at the convent?
Nothing. You'll go and convince them that only you and the Mother Superior were involved. Now, look, Captain, we haven't any time to lose. First of all, this. This will get you into the boarding house down at the fortifications. You'll go in and sit down with the workmen in the dining room. The midnight shift will be eating then. I'll be getting the boat ready.
Boat?
Yes, the one that takes the laundry and supplies out to the officers on the island at midnight. A Nazi sailor runs it, but he won't be running it tonight. And now, at 11:45, leave the dining room and go to the old storeroom at the corner of the building. It's right over the wharf. Lock yourself in until you hear the signal.
What'll be the signal?
A mechanical piano. It's in the dining room with an out-of-order sign on it. One of our men will start playing it when I bring the boat to a point right under the storeroom. There is a trap door under the rug. You can drop down directly into the boat. And with luck, we'll have you on an English submarine before daylight.
What about Sister Clothilde?
Well, she'll be taken care of.
By whom?
Please, John, you mustn't think of me. Monsieur Cabeau is right. The important thing is your safety.
She's going with me.
To England?
Why not?
And after you get her to England, what will you do with her?
There's time enough then to make plans. We'll manage something.
You'll take her back to America?
I don't know. I hadn't thought. Hasn't been time. I only know I can't leave her. She's not safe in France.
Are you quite sure it is safe for her to go?
Please, Monsieur Cabeau. This time we have spent together, the dangers we have shared, it has made us friends. And it's natural for a man to be anxious about his friend.
There's no time to discuss the future now. You are both going to the boarding house. There'll be a chance to talk later. But now I've got to get you both out of here unrecognized. You go downstairs and join the other girl. She's waiting for you. You'll help her carry the basket of laundry. Follow me. Hurry now.
Two girls work in the laundry. They take the laundry down about this time every night.
Question her. Madame Sarou, perhaps it will help you to cooperate with us if you understand it. We already have most of the information you refuse to give us. Look, the American and the woman with him were followed. The postcard vendor brought them here. They were seen to enter. Now, how did they live here? And where did they go?
I didn't see them. I don't know anything about them. Oh, don't. I'll tell you everything. You're new here, aren't you?
Yes?
Well, you can't be served without a badge. You better get one from your foreman.
Well, I'm not working on the fortifications. I'm just here looking for someone.
How soon before you get that thing fixed, Armand?
Soon enough for those who want to play it, and too soon for those who don't.
Sister Clothilde, you must listen to me. And I'm not trying to harm you. I'm here to save you.
Save me?
Look, I want to be your friend. You can trust me. Do you believe that?
I don't know. I can't talk now.
Yeah. This American has placed you in a most serious position.
Please, monsieur, I have work to do.
If you will just tell me where he is, I will see that nothing happens to you. I will tell Major Krupp that I was mistaken. That you are not the one I found with him. Don't you understand? I'm trying to help you. But you must tell me where this man is. If he's not found, the results may be more serious for you as well as for me.
I'm sorry, but it's against the rules for our waitresses to have visitors. You have too much work to do.
Now, look here.
Please, monsieur.
Hey, what's the idea? Well, do we eat with our fingers tonight? How about some knives and forks, huh?
I'm sorry.
Peace on earth. Take your time. We've still got 15 minutes to eat, which is long enough for what they give you here.
How about the tuna, Mo? Are you going to be all night fixing that?
Another 15 minutes.
John, be careful. Vitrey's here and some German soldiers.
Thank you, Sister Clothilde. So, our American has not escaped, but is right here in this building. Once more, let me thank you. Sister Clothilde, you and I are going to have a little chat. Surround the place.
Yes, sir.
Don't be alarmed. My feelings toward you are the kindest, the most grateful. After all, you have just rendered me a service. We Germans know how to pay for services. Come now. The American is somewhere in this building now, isn't he? You won't answer that. Well, no matter. A search will soon settle it. But perhaps you'll answer this. Who brought you here? Who gave you those clothes? Do you realize the seriousness of your situation? Do you realize that you have committed an act of treason? You have not only put yourself beyond the protection of your church, but you have acted as an enemy of the German Reich. Do you know what happens to enemies of the Reich? So, you insist on being stubborn. Very well, then.
You found the American?
Yes. Thanks to this young woman, we know he is here. You'd better get more men and tear gas.
Did you ask her if he's still carrying that hand grenade?
She doesn't want to tell us anything. But perhaps she'll talk later.
I can't guarantee that. But we'll have to move very carefully. He's of little importance. But we must have the information the French underground has collected. I want those documents.
I can get them.
You?
I can get them. That is, if you promise not to shoot him as a spy.
You mean you want to make a bargain with me? His life in exchange for the information?
Yes.
He will never give it up.
He will to me.
So, the little frightened rabbit turns into a fox. It's a bargain. I'll give you 10 minutes, no longer.
You must let me go to him alone.
You won't be followed, but only 10 minutes. Understand?
Wait a minute. How do we know she will come back? How do we know she hasn't some way of getting out of here?
You hear what he says?
Yes, I promise I'll come back.
Promises.
As you know, I was a novice in the convent. I promise, on the vows I had hoped to make as a nun, that I will come back.
I know this girl. She does not lie. Very well. We'll take your word for it.
Don't try any tricks. If you do, you know what will happen to you.
Yes. I know.
It's quite safe to let her go. Every exit is being watched.
John, let me in.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I hurried so.
Is anything wrong?
I remembered it. It's almost time for you to go.
What is it? Why do you look at me like that?
I was thinking they'll send you home soon. Perhaps.
I can't go and leave you here.
Your little boy He'll be so happy to see you.
If you'll know me. He was such a little guy when I left.
Of course he'll know you. He's so lucky to have such a father. And all the things you told me you did together, you'll do again. Box and swim. It's time for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye?
Well, what else is there for us to say? It is goodbye.
I can never forget you.
I don't want you to. I want you to remember me always as I shall remember you.
But what'll happen to you? I can't leave without knowing.
But I know.
Where are you going? You must tell me.
I can't, but where I'm going I shall be safe. I promise you.
You're still wearing it. Did you forget to take it off?
Yes, I forgot. In France, a good husband wears a ring. Take this to your wife. She will put it on your finger and you'll wear it always.
Two minutes.
So late. We must hurry. Here, help me.
This is not easy, what you're asking me to do.
Do you think it's easy for me?
No matter what happens, our lives can never be quite the same again. You know that, don't you?
Oh, yes, I know many things I never knew before. When you first told me about your marriage, you made me understand what it meant for a man to have a wife and a child. That life together, so close. You almost made me understand what it could mean to a woman to spend her life with a man of her own choosing and a child that belongs to them both. Even though that life is not for me, I shall always be glad when I see men and women together that I know a little of what they feel for each other. I have much to thank you for.
Captain, hurry!
Goodbye.
Goodbye. God bless you.
Where is he?
Gone.
And the documents?
Gone.
I was right. She has lied to us. Tricked us. I'll search the place.
So, it was all a trick to help him get away. Wasn't it? Answer me.
I promised only to come back.
And now, what do you think we're going to do with you?
You will have me shot.
So you think I'm going to have you shot? You must enjoy the prospect, don't you? I can see you standing before the firing squad, saying your prayers. The beautiful martyred heroine. No, Sister Clothilde. That's much too easy. I'm not going to give you a shoulder like that. You're a woman. A young woman. And quite a lovely one. The German Reich has use for such women.
No, you can't do that. You wouldn't. Sister Clothilde, do you understand what he intends to do with you?
Silence! Yes, Sister Clothilde. You can be much more useful to us alive than dead. Take her away and ship her out to Poland in the morning.
No, I won't let you do it.
Put that gun down.
I won't let you do it.